Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic we are going to discuss right now is on establish peace and quietness in your body. That is the topic of discussion. This is a message from the Mother, Divine Mother. So, peace and quietness are required to be established in the body. That will give you strength to resist attacks of illness. Normally illness is coming. Illness, we feel it is from the outer circumstances. Sometimes it happens, but most of the times we can take it in the inability to resist the attacks of the inner peace and harmony is not established yet. So that is the problem. As the greater peace and quietness in the body has not been established, so you don't get, someone is not lacks the strength, they don't have the strength to resist the attack of illness. So to resist the attack of illness, it is required to establish greater peace and quietness in your body, so that these cells will be prepared properly and this illness will disappear. There you won't be get um, disturbed or assailed by the illness. So anyway, it is on peace. The first thing to do in the sadhana is to get settled peace and silence in the mind. Settled peace and silence in the mind, that is the first condition, first thing. Settled peace and silence in the mind. Otherwise you have to you may have the experience, but nothing is permanent. So two things are needed, that is peace and silence, that is in the mind, that is quite essential. Otherwise, even if you are getting experiences, that will not, that will be temporary, not permanent. It is in the silent mind, that is what the mind must be silent. So far these yogics are concerned, their process is concerned, silent mind, that a true consciousness can be built. Very interesting. In the silent mind only the true consciousness can be built. The forces that stand on the way of sadness, sadhana. On the way of sadhana, the forces that stand are the forces of the lower mental, vital, and physical. That's what they create all the problem, all the havoc in the process of sadhana. And behind them adverse powers of the mental, vital, and physical. So these are the things we can find: adverse, mental, vital, and physical. Adverse powers of the mental, vital, and physical, that stand behind all these things, and they create all the problems for the body, for the sadhana. So this can be dealt with only after the mind and heart became one pointed and concentrated to the single aspiration of the divine. Single aspiration of the divine. This one pointed and concentrated mind. Only thing is required, that the mind and heart have to become one pointed and concentrated. One pointed and concentrated in the single aspiration to the divine, that is the most required condition. Aspire to the mother for this settled quietness and calm in the mind. So this is the thing, that aspiration must be there, because most of the time we feel aspiration and desire are the same, but not think like this. You must aspire to the mother for the settled quietness and calm. These are the two things are required: settled quietness and calm in the mind, and a constant sense of inner being. You standing back from the external nature and return to the light and turn to the light and truth. The basic requirement are thus like this: you must have settled quietness and calm in the mind, first. Second, constant sense of inner being, you standing back from the external nature and turn to the light and the truth. So light and the truth, for to that you must be turned. These are the required conditions to get the settled peace in the mind. and that is the most required condition, and almost mother has quoted, Sri Aurobindo has quoted, first thing to be done in the sadhana is to get a settled peace and silence in the mind. That is the most essential condition. Again, Sri Aurobindo put forward the important thing is to get rid of the habit of the invasion of troubling the thoughts, invasion of troubling the thoughts, wrong feelings, confusions of ideas, unhappy moments. These are the things that they create a problem for you. They create confusion in the mind of the sadhakas. So these must be taken proper care of. You must know the things properly, and mother course here in the course. Important thing is to get rid of the habit of invasion of the troubling thoughts and its invasion. And the next, wrong feelings. Third, confusion of ideas. Fourth, unhappy moments. These are the things you must get rid of. These disturb the nature and cloud it, and make it difficult for the force to work. These are the things you must know. These things, troubling thoughts, wrong feelings, confusion of ideas, and unhappy moments. So these are the four things, and they create the problems, disturb the nature. Second, cloud it, and the third, it make it difficult for the force to work. And when the mind is quite at peace, the force can act. That is the problem, and it is important. So four things are disturbing you, you must get rid of them. Habit of invasion of troubling thoughts, second wrong feelings, third confusions of ideas and unhappy movements. So they disturb you, the nature and cloud it and make it difficult for the force to work. For this actually you must have quiet and your mind must be when this force will act only when the mind is quiet and at peace. At this condition, peaceful mind and quiet mind, this force can be able to act here. Again, mother goes forward, aspire for the rest of the divine consciousness, aspire for the rest of the divine consciousness, but with a calm and a deep aspiration. Always the same thing, Sri Aurobindo quotes, always with a calm and a deep aspiration. For with that, you have to aspire for the rest of divine consciousness. It can be ardent as well as calm. This divine consciousness, um, steer in the course, it can be ardent as well as calm, but not impatient. Already we have seen in the last discussion when we had yesterday. Then actually we stressed upon aspire intensely but without impatience. It needs, because this yoga needs infinity patience. Don't get impatience. That is the clear cut and of course very decent call from the divine, from Sri Aurobindo. So not impatient, restless, and full of rajasic eagerness. These things must not be there. This aspiration can be ardent, can be calm, impatient, but no impatience, restlessness, or full of resistance. Rajasic eagerness, it must not be there. Remain quiet, number one. Open yourself and call the Shakti to confirm the calm and the peace. Again, to widen the consciousness, and again, to bring into as much as light and power as it can receive. So, these are the things you must have to do. Number one, you must know, remain quiet. That is the essential. You have to remain quiet. Second, open yourself. Third, call the divine divine Shakti to confirm the calm and peace in you. Number five, to widen your consciousness and bring into it much larger light and power into it, and so that as it can receive and assimilate. These are the conditions. You have to aspire for peace. You have to call the divine to confirm the calm and peace in you. Remain peace, open yourself, widen your consciousness, and to bring into it much power and light it can receive and assimilate. These are the things on your part you must do. Unless otherwise the base is not ready, how the index can be erected? How can it the index can stand without the proper base? Because base is there, to some extent it is there, it is prepared, but actually not sufficient. That's what you have to see, and you have to prepare it. These are the five conditions. As they may, this may disturb such quiet and balance in it has been already established in the vital nature. So this power, they have to come, they have to create rest and peace and quietness in you, so that you will be in a position to deal with the problem, deal with the hostile process, the adverse process, and their disturbances. So next one, we are moving forward to see. To remain quiet within, very interesting. Outside, outwardly you show, you display, you pretend to be as you are quiet, as if you are quiet, sitting quietly, sitting for meditation, but nobody knows what you are doing. Somebody actually, I have again and again I have told you sometimes, many times, somebody was doing the meditation. There was a lot of jealousy and complaint. People went and asked the Sri Aurobindo. Yes, he is doing a great concentration, sitting for hours together, doing such and such like this. Sri Aurobindo listens everything and remains quiet. And one day, Sri Aurobindo had to react. And he was very, very polite and very humorous remark. He is meditating, but meditating on his wife. So this is the outward phenomenon what really we normally see. To remain quiet within, firm in the will to go through, firm in the will to go through. That will must be there, firm will to go through. I must not stop. Remain quiet within, then firm in the will to go through, refusing to be disturbed or discouraged by the difficulties. That is the third condition. Or I want to be discouraged. I want to be discouraged, disturbed by the difficulties, whatever and is coming, and the fluctuations, difficulties, discouraged or disturbed by the difficulties, or fluctuations, whatever are coming on the way. That is the one, the first thing learned to be learned in the path. So, beautiful message. It has been messaged by the master, and he is trying to explain. Remain quiet within, number one. Firm in the will to go through. I will never stop. Three, refusing to be disturbed or discouraged by the difficulties or fluctuations, whatever coming in the way. That is the third thing. And if these firmness are established in you, you must go steadfastly. And one of the first steps, first things, that is learned in the path. These are the most required condition you have to take care of, and it is a must. And later, Sri Aurobindo course, here as elsewhere, quiet is the first thing needed. Quiet is the first thing needed. Quiet, remain quiet, remain quiet. That is the first condition, first thing needed. That keep the consciousness quiet, not allowed to get agitated or in turmoil. If that, your thing is, the first thing needed is to keep the consciousness quiet. Keep your consciousness quiet, whatever may be, you don't get disturbed. That is the initial and the primary condition, and you must know, you must realize in life. And this you need, see, if this quietness is the first thing, quiet elsewhere, quiet, the first thing needed to keep your consciousness quiet. Don't allow it to get agitated or turmoil. If the consciousness is not calm, so something agitation and the turmoil are coming. Don't get agitated or don't rush into the turmoil. Nothing should disturb you. Then, in the quiet, to call for the force. That is the external and outward force. That is that there must be called. We must call. Sadhaka must call for the force to clear up all the obscurity and change it. Call the call to clear up all the obscurities, obstacles, fluctuations, whatever is coming. These force must be called upon to clear them, to clean them. So, and clear up, and not only clear up, they have to come and change it. That is the basic condition. So, very interestingly, you have to rely on that higher force. You have to call, you have to aspire, you have to open yourself, and that is the minimum required condition. Remain quiet, quiet, quiet. Thank you. Vande Mataram.